We'll come in first. Hello, everyone.
We are live.
We're live. Okay, so we don't have Manfred today to go and count how many
This
episodes we have.
Wednesday. Oh, so I thought, okay, it looks like Wednesday to me.
Yeah, yesterday we had this, right? Yeah. But by the way, hi everyone. If you're watching this, can you quickly say hi to us? Whether you're watching this on, where are you watching this? Well, are you watching this on my Facebook group? I actually broadcast this on my YouTube channel as well. So either way, you get to watch this. Okay, so
right.
Who is here? So yeah, just let me do a quick intro in case I believe you are familiar with me because you're anyway watching on my platform, right? So yeah, my name is Jason. Yeah, in my group, and you are in my YouTube channel. Either way, you should know me. But if you don't, then let's say hi. My name is Jason, and I actually help businesses navigate success on Facebook advertising. So I'm a Facebook ads coach and strategist, and we have Andrew here in the house. Andrew is a good friend. Andrew specializes in email marketing. You see, how many of you is here? Intan is here. Let me quickly bring up. Hi Intan.
Oh, Intan, hi.
Hi Intan. Intan is really supportive. Our best supporter ever. Thank you so much for joining us, Intan.
So much.
Who is here? Yeah. So okay, I think I want to fill in the blank a bit about why are we doing this so-called ad hoc live training. You see, all the time I only share content on my group and my YouTube channel, but on and off we do live. Of course, we do have shared live coming in here and there. But the reason why we do this is because we all know that 8/8 just passed. Okay, yep. How did you do on 8/8? How many of you actually went through 8/8? And of course, it's either you have gained very good success or you've probably seen some fluctuation from time to time. So either you're doing good or not. Otherwise, I hope you do good, of course. But we want to actually recognize the fact that selling on marketplace is no longer as easy as many years back, right? Competition is one thing because I work with a lot of so-called Shopee sellers, marketplace sellers, and all that, right? I think one of the problem that I constantly receive, or the challenge that I constantly receive from my audience would be, they're saying the cost per customer acquisition is definitely rising like mad. Meaning that whether you bid for keyword or you actually spend on ads, right? Okay, the cost is definitely coming up. Now on Shopee side, definitely they gain more restrictions and then they have more things over there. And on the other hand, right, if you run ads on Facebook, you know for a fact that the ad cost is definitely rising all the time.
Yep.
Right.
And it's messy also nowadays.
It is actually, so that's the first thing, the customer acquisition cost is coming up. Second thing is competition. You see, first round of MCO, if you guys can recall, at that point of time, right, anyone who were online back then, you guys were having fun. Because it was really the gold rush at that point of time. Everything was so good, My client was telling me that, out of stock, cannot, and then get in stock fast enough and all that, we can't support the demand. But this is like
throw ads money into ads, you get sales already.
You get sales one. Back then, MCO 1.0.
Whether you're good, you run your ads correctly or not, you get sales already.
That's true. Because at that point of time, right, first thing first, we don't have that many sellers, man.
Yeah.
Correct. No? Then after that, the second thing is people were still hopeful. People are saying that it's just gonna be a couple of months, right? Then we're gonna get back to normal, right?
So holiday.
It's very hopeful. Man. People were really hopeful over there and saying that just a few months later we're gonna come back, right? Then Intan was saying, the competition is really happening there. If you found something that sells really well today, right, immediately the next hour you see something pops up, the same thing. Why? Because everybody already mastered the game in a way. You're no longer ahead of people. So you see, here's the thing. If you're still doing things that you're doing a year ago, how do you expect something to change?
Only 1 year, 6 months is,
it's just 6 months down the road. Yeah. So competition is the second challenge, right? So when you have a very high customer acquisition cost over there, at the same time you have a very steep competition coming into your market, regardless what you sell, right? Then what are you doing in order to stand out? So one of the angle is definitely if you're selling on Shopee or Lazada. The third problem is what? The third problem is you do not know. In fact, most of the audiences that I work with do not know how to maintain a relationship with your existing customers. Like for those who are watching this, right? Like Intan is here and a few of you are over here. I can see quite a number of viewers already here. So what are you doing? What are you doing really to actually maintain a relationship with your customers for those who actually bought from you? So that's the thing that we want to actually start advocating. That's why we started this Facebook group training, right? Which some of you are in there. Like but Boy was saying, oh wait, this is Boy saying, right? Boy is saying, our training can't be any more timelier. Just convert your project into a full-time job, and growing the e-commerce is one of the KPIs. Congratulations.
There's another competitor coming.
Yeah. So e-commerce is one of the KPI, and that's really like, first thing first, congratulations for going full-time.
Yep.
That's a good thing, boy. And of course, the other angle here is, growing e-commerce is actually not as straightforward as it was a year plus ago, right? Yeah. So that's the reason why we want to really come together and do something over here.
Not to mention that there's also another dimension.
Which is
those days, you will have a lot of pure play e-commerce players on Shopee, Lazada. Now you have a lot of brick and mortar companies, because they have no choice. They cannot send people out to see customers. They are migrating to online. So now you have a bunch of, and they've got money. And a bunch of people who are going in, and they have products, they are better sourcing and all those things. You now 2x your competition already.
True. That's very true.
Yeah.
That's why all these are challenges, right? Like, to be very frank, I would say most of my coaches and clients that did well during MCO 1.0 or last year, they're telling me that this time around is really, really bad. That's why, we hope to bring new perspective to you guys. That's why we want to actually see if we are able to add value by giving you a different perspective to see this thing. Success can be measured from different angles. It could be measured by, how much sales you're getting in. A lot of people will go on a very straightforward angle, which is, if I spend $1, how much am I getting back? Which is ROAS, right? Everybody was talking about return on advertising spend. Right. But other than that, what else can we measure? Can we measure by customer lifetime value? Can we measure by how many % of your customers actually return, and how many times they return, and what are you doing in between to maintain all these kind of things? That's why one of the very important angle I want to actually bring to your attention is email marketing. And that's why we have Andrew here. Andrew is a crazy guy about email marketing, and we truly believe in email marketing. Just that a lot of people will be asking, "Wow, Jason, you say email marketing for Shopee, or what are you talking about?"
Right.
Like how? Like Shopee do not allow us to capture email. How? Shopee do not allow us. They only allow you guys to get email. I mean, phone number, I know. So then email. Another angle is, how many Shopee users in Malaysia really like open email? A lot of them actually sign up via phone number, right? They don't even give email, right?
Do they sign up by phone number? I sign up by email though.
You can sign up by phone number. That's why you have two choice.
Okay.
Yeah, but nonetheless, right? Email is really something that, as long as you're online, whether you agree or not, you can actually debate with me. As long as you're online, okay, you need to have an email address anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we always like to say, right? Andrew always like to say, when you lost your when you forget your password, where do you retrieve it?
Yeah. No, when you sign up for when you sign up for social media account, first thing first, they ask you for email. Right?
Definitely. Yeah. Most of the thing online is still email. Maybe Shopee is like, phone number wise lah. But when it comes to different so-called online services, it's usually email.
Correct.
So yeah, you may not check Facebook one day for those who are not really like on Facebook, but you definitely check your email every day. Agree?
Yes. Definitely.
That's why we really want to, like Intan was saying, digital product only can get email. If not, that's kind of the thing. Yes, like a lot of things that you sign up is all email. Yep. And Boy was saying that, yes, definitely. And this is Christine.
Class.
This is Christine, if I'm not mistaken. Christine was saying in Shopee hard to maintain loyal customer. Well, that's why we hope to bring a very different perspective to you to see how we can actually, give you some different angle to look at this thing about building a loyal customer from your Shopee customer.
Yeah. let's face it. I mean, the days of churn and burn. You put products up, you advertise, get people to buy, and then you go and find other new buyers and constantly do that. I think is over. If not now, is coming in. Because yes, people are not loyal because you have not built a relationship with them. I mean, if you look at what Jason has done over the last 2 years, he's been appearing on multiple platforms. I mean, even irrespective, as a human being, he's available on YouTube. He's doing this for you for free. He's sharing, and he's sending you emails on almost a daily basis. At every week, at least there's one class, on different subjects. And you guys are here and you guys are following him because of the effort that is done to try to establish that relationship with you. But if Jason were to say, okay, whenever you have a class, you just send an email and then, you buy and all those things. There's no loyalty because you have not built that bond. And same thing with e-commerce as well. Anything that you sell to human beings, the person has to feel, I mean, why would you choose Nike over Reebok? Or why would you choose Adidas over, Nike, for example?
Yep.
Right? Nike spends like hundreds of millions of dollars sponsoring athletes. The reason why they do that is because the athletes has stories. Selling shoes enough is not sexy. If you never hear Nike tell you the technology that goes behind it, that air bounce or whatever it is, but they associate a product with a Michael Jordan. They associate a product with a Tiger Woods, for example. And recently, because of one of the Olympians, they actually made a big boo-boo because she was pregnant and it was trying to negotiate downwards a sponsorship. That hurt their business, right? So if big brands are doing it, they're telling stories because you associate yourself, you don't care. You just go to a store and look at, okay, what's this style? If you're a runner, you look at the runner. If you are a marathoner, you look at a marathoner. And whatever they're using, you buy. If you buy tennis, you look for Rabolat. Okay.
No clue about that.
Rabolat is basically a brand. And what's the Spanish guy? Yeah? The Spanish tennis, I can't remember.
What? Federer? Roger?
No. Roger Federer is Prince.
Okay.
Roger Federer is Prince. Babolat is the Spanish one. I can't remember. Two of them used to compete.
Yeah. Okay.
Uniqlo, you look at Djokovic, for example. So everyone has a story. Every brand has a story. Same thing. If you're running a Shopee, you need to have a story and the reason why they buy from you. Either they trust you better, although they have other choices with similar price. But because you build that relationship, they say, okay, I think I better take a chance.
Yeah, that's very true. And you want to tell a story, even when you're crafting a story, you need to actually build a platform or actually a place to house your story. You cannot be like just going Shopee and tell your story. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
You need to have a place to tell your story, which is the reason why we want to give you a few angle over here, which is email is one of them. It's definitely a very big one.
It's just a channel. Yeah, it's nothing special. It's just a channel. But it's an effective channel to do. 5 years ago, people say content is king. Now, they say content is the product, is your product. If you don't have content wrap around your product is just a commodity.
Just something else, right? I mean,
because everybody can get it.
True. That's why in this era, especially now, almost every business that survives right now, they are still surviving right now, will definitely have gone online in one way or another. So basically, you gotta have to, really do something. So just take a look at the comment right here. We have quite a number of people watching here already. Guys, if you want to invite your friends, right, I would still recommend that you do, because I'm actually doing the housekeeping over here. And when they come in, I will refresh and allow them in as soon as I can. So just take a look at a few comments over here. Like, Christine was saying, you can do a brand community. Still, people go out and buy. If they go to the shop, can't get the product, ask the seller to sell the product at the shop. Social media. That's probably something that you are trying to initiate, right? That's a quite interesting angle to look at it, And we have Summer here, if I'm not mistaken. Summer is saying that's why he strongly believes in building an e-commerce brand rather than an e-commerce store. That's definitely agree. But building a brand, yes, you need to actually have a plan. Like one of the things that we always, kind of like whenever we discuss with any digital marketer is when you want to build a brand, right? You got to find a place to host the story, which is what we are talking about. So where are you actually going to build your brand? You cannot build your brand out of thin air. Like Andrew is building his brand on maybe on LinkedIn first, and I built my brand more strongly on YouTube, and of course on the Facebook group side. So how do you want to actually host the whole strategy? How do you want to plan? How do you want to strategize the storytelling? How do you want to connect, right? Where do you want your audience to come to you? How do you want to foster the relationship? These are all the things that comes into play whenever you talk about brand building. So seriously, a lot of people think about brand building, they'll be like rah gung ho about that. But to be frank, it's
not about a nice logo.
No, it's one thing at a time, one email at a time, one post at a time, one interaction at a time, if you agree with me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you went through that journey. So you think of Facebook, you think of Jason Gunn. That's it.
I hope. Right?
That's how you have your own community.
That's why.
But
it takes effort to build.
Yeah.
But that's why I say, I mean, what we're trying to say here is, although we spent about 15 minutes yapping away about this brand building thing, but
it's an extension of Team Marketers minus Manfred.
Yeah.
So it's a conversation. Also, do join in the conversation, and
So you guys have any questions? I can see you guys are really coming in. If you have any question or you have any comment, right, pop by. Of course, later Andrew will have a bit of slides going on. But if you really have something that we will see something interesting, if you have some insights, share with us. Okay. But first thing first, I just want to.
Jason, I just want to say one thing. I've been working with a couple of e-commerce store customers.
Right.
Not many yet. So I'm on the lookout for some good ones. I have to take my hats off and respect to you guys. Running an e-commerce store, I said either it's a standalone or you do it on Shopee or Lazada in a marketplace. It's tough work. Honestly speaking, you ask me to start a store, I probably won't. I've seen the kind of pain you guys go through, the struggle you guys go through. I have nothing but respect. Really, nothing but respect. This is really tough.
True. Yeah. So can I really do a quick show of hand? Okay, like where are you selling? I would say if you're here today, you definitely has to be in e-commerce, right? Like we have Intan here, we have Powai here, we have Summer here, we have Christine here. So where are you selling? If you're selling on Lazada, hashtag Lazada. If you're selling on Shopee, hashtag Shopee. If you're selling on own website, then hashtag website. I just want to quickly see a show of hand. Of course, if you're having a Shopee and Lazada and website, then you hashtag everything. I mean, does it work?
Yeah.
Anyway, if you're selling on Shopee, hashtag Shopee. If you're selling on Lazada, hashtag Lazada. And if you're selling on your own website, hashtag website, right? Oh, we have TY here. TY, you forgot to allow yourself.
TY, what are you doing in a Shopee store, man?
TY, wrong group. Why are you here? It's Shopee.
E-com site for customers.
TY have e-com client, right? TY is an agency. Guys, if you guys need help, I really want to give quick shout out to my friend. Like we have Summer here who's actually helping brands, right? And I think Powai is also helping brands. And we have TY.
Yes.
Yeah, so these are the people who have gone through some learning with me. So you can be rest assured that these are the people with really solid experience, and they do have the know-how to do all these things, right? Like we have, this is Christine website. You didn't show your face. And then we have Samson. Wow, Samson doing good, By the way, Samson is actually from August fame. His store sell plants.
Oh, okay.
I tell you, these people are making a fortune, I tell you, because my girlfriend got nothing to do at home. You know what she does? She buy plants. What the hell?
Oh, shit.
And all of a sudden, I got a garden in my balcony. I mean, through the pandemic. Samson,
plant is not cheap, It's like
tell
fishing.
Me about it.
Plant is so cheap, If you really go into it, there's so many accessories that goes with it, and bloody hell.
Tell me about it, man. Okay. Seriously, Samson is doing good. And I follow him on his Shopee store as well. These guys are very hardworking. This is really like, these guys are really hardworking. Some August fame, Samson over there. They almost go live every other day. I think that is really something respectable. Yeah, seriously.
Wow.
Of course.
You guys are better than us.
Yeah, so we have Powai here selling on the website, Shopee and Lazada. Wow. And this is who?
Awesome,
This is Evelyn on Shopee. And we have the Fanny Yap on Shopee, Lazada website. Wow, awesome. Wow. And we have, who is this? Who is Jason the farmer? Who is that?
Hey guys, Jason is streaming on StreamYard. So if you want to show your face, which is fun, so that we can see your face and name, click on StreamYard.com/Facebook. that basically allows StreamYard to broadcast your name when you
Yeah.
put your comments.
Yeah, it should be in my comment there. I don't know, but
Yeah.
anyway. So yeah,
So
if you
StreamYard,
guys are
Facebook,
selling,
StreamYard.com, Facebook.
yeah, Australia.com/Facebook. So if you're selling on Shopee, #Shopee. If you're selling on Lazada, #Lazada. On website, website.
Instagram also.
Well, Instagram, this is Christine.
Oh.
Instagram is also quite picking up, right? And we have who? This is Far Benson on Shopee, Intan on
Right.
Shopee,
Wow.
and yeah, Chiwai, go and click on the link. Let me see your face, man.
Yeah, man.
That's where got fun. If you guys are watching on YouTube as well, give a quick shout out so that we know that you are here. We have about 50 over people here. That's nice. It's a very cozy group, I think. And I promise you that this live is going to last for about 5 hours. Nah, just kidding. So basically, yeah, I mean, what we're trying to do.
We have done that before. Almost died.
Oh, yeah, man. Nearly died.
Almost died.
Oh, my God. That's crazy. So yeah, I mean, today we are talking about email marketing for Shopee. So we would like to really put our hands together. Can we actually give me a love or thumbs up, so that we can have Andrew to bring up his slide in.
Yep.
Okay.
Sure.
So can we have thumbs up for Andrew, likes for Andrew? So I'll be moderating with Andrew. All right. And basically along the way, if you have any questions as Andrew go along his slides and all that, right? Pop in the comment. Okay. Whether you're on YouTube or on Facebook group, I can see you. I'm actually monitoring
so
over here.
when I go on class, I can't see you guys already, right? My two screens is all about Keynote already. So okay.
Never mind. I'll be taking care of this.
All right.
Let me take care of this part. Whenever I need to jump, I jump in.
Yeah.
And then we do a chit chat over here. Ken?
So do I need to share this? See,
you need to.
Live,
No, this is Manfred's job. He's the guy who share on StreamYard all the time. Not you.
So I'm supposed to share like this, right?
Click share and then.
Okay.
Actually, if you're on Keynote, right, you can hide toolbar and all that. Basically, you can just go along.
Let me try this and see. Let me see.
Yeah, you don't need to go full screen. I don't think you need to go live. I mean, full screen.
Okay, let's see how it goes.
Okay.
So can you see it? Is it full screen?
I'm taking it up. It's full screen.
Full screen?
Yeah, it's full screen.
Okay.
All right. So over to you.
All right. So today it's not a class. It's basically just to share some of the findings and just to share some ideas. And the objective is to give you a different perspective of looking at things. It may not work for you, but just keep an open mind. All right. So all of us, I consider myself, all of us in e-com, we daily what we do, we worry about, basically making the sale. All right. So that's why I started this with Show Me the Money. So the idea is this: well, you all of you, and those who are in Lazada, Shopee, or even on your website, you want more sales. All right. And more sales come from 3 sources. One is from more customers. The other one is you get them to buy more. All right. And the third one is to get them to buy more frequently. So these are the 3 things. And when you achieve them, you basically get, more customers, you reduce the cost of acquiring a new customer. You get more, that means your cart value is higher AOV. Or if you buy frequently, that brings you to a higher lifetime value of the customer. Okay. But on the flip side, you will need to spend more on ads if you are trying to attract new customers, as in current now. All right. And if you want to get them to buy more, the only way is for you to invest in funnels. A sales funnel whereby you do upsells, you do downsells, for example, so that you add stuff in. And then you want to buy frequently, then you got to retarget them. You got to start building custom audience, or alternatively, you got to run more campaigns. Okay. And all this will obviously lead to higher costs. Now, the thing, if you notice what is happening with marketplace, all right, and I see that now, is you remember those days when Facebook started, they had to rely on a lot of contribution from people like you and me. We post, we bring friends in, we network and all these things. And without us realizing it, we actually were feeding a giant. And now they're so big, they now decide whether they want to shut down access to a government. And they did that with Australia government at one point, remember? They can shut down access to a sitting president of the United States, which is Trump. So that is how big they are, and that they grew that big primarily because of us. They provide a free platform, and we start posting contents, and we attract people in, and that's how they are, right? So, in a nutshell, not only Shopee, any other marketplace, including people like Amazon, for example, they have gone so big that now they can actually dictate the movement of the market. And you and I, as an e-com store owner, for example, we are just that little small guy now behind. Today you say, okay, I don't want to work with Shopee anymore. It's okay, they don't miss you. Or you don't want to work with Lazada, they don't miss you because there are thousands of people, struggling or basically banging on the door to get in to sell stuff, right? And like when Jason was saying, what you have seen with Facebook. I mean, there was an article I read recently. For the first time ever for their Q3 reports, the Fortune 500 companies or Fortune 1000 companies in their financial report, they actually stated that Q3, they are worried about Q3 numbers because of the changes to iOS, the changes introduced by iOS 14.5 on Facebook. That is how big Facebook is already. That you can actually shake the earnings of a listed company because I can't advertise accurately, I can't get sales, and it's going to affect my revenue. So what you see now is your cost is definitely going to go up, and we have spoken to a couple of Shopee owners, marketplace owners, operators, for example, and your margins is going down primarily because there are too many competitors. You sell something for $5, somebody is going to sell it for $4.55. Somebody else is going to source for, and because sourcing now is relatively easy, right, with the internet, somebody's going to do it at $4.30, for example. So it is basically a race to the bottom. But at the same time, because you have only one source of traffic, which is Facebook, and you do not capture the customers' details to nurture them, you have to feed the animal called Facebook, and cost has gone up, and it's gone up because it's unreliable now. Okay, I've got a couple of friends running it, and it says, one day is 10 sales, the next day is 16 sales, the following day is 0 sales, running from the same ad. So it's kind of scary. It's almost like betting on the stock market. At least stock market, you can read trends. Here you can't because Facebook ain't going to tell you anything about it. So if you look at this scenario, it's something that we feel, that's why we decided to do this. I think we feel that it is time to look at alternatives, or it's time to at least consider an alternative, right? So some of the key questions, I'm sure you guys will probably have thought about in the back of your mind is, how do I retain my customers, right? How do I retain the guy who buys something from me first time? How do I get back to them? Because I only have their mobile numbers, right? Second thing is, how do I turn my one-time buyers into repeat customers? Because that's where you accelerate your lifetime value. For example, if the guys buy for $10, if he comes in again and buy for another $10 and all those things, the lifetime value goes up. Number two is you achieve the lifetime value of the customer faster, right? I've got a case where at one point I was buying this organic soup, all right? At any one time, I'll buy like 3 or 4, and I was hoping for them to reach out to me to because there's a pattern. I consistently repeat buy, but they didn't do that. Now, all I need is another competitor comes in, either offering at the same price or either offering at cheaper price or equally good product, I will have switched. But if they have bothered to catch up with me or bothered to follow up with me, and they know my buying pattern, that every 3 months or 2 months, I will replenish my stock, they could send me an email to remind me. Anyway, and if you have followed some of our conversation before, I did that when I was doing B2B. We used to send salespeople out to chase for renewals because cybersecurity solutions, every year you renew one. And it is both costly and time consuming. So what we did is we then resort to emails. All right, it was an experiment for us. Okay? I resorted to email because I didn't want to waste the salesperson's time. And you know what? They go and look for the customer, yamcha, sit down and talk, and after a while, hey, by the way, you want to renew? That's about it. It is a 2 seconds conversation. The rest of the half an hour or so is basically spent talking nonsense, and it's unproductive to the company. It's unproductive to the customer. totally a waste of time, a wrong usage of a salesperson. So what we did is, long story short, we ran a campaign, a renewal campaign email that targets the users for 90 days, 60 days, 30 days, 14 days, 7 days, and 3 days. Why 90 days? Because in corporate, you need about 3 months to prepare budget to get approval. So we trigger the first renewal at 90 days, 60 days to remind them again, 30 days to remind them again, so that they don't switch to anybody else, you know. And we have cases where, you know, on day 30, for example, some other competitors come and try to offer something. And because they have that conversation with us, they then revert back and says, hey, before I renew, I've got this guy coming and knocking on doors. So what can we do better? So this is where the relationship is built, because you actually bothered to reach out to them. They appreciate that. I mean, customers, to be fair, they are sorry a lot because sellers don't really care about them. The moment you show some love to them, I tell you, they will love you, right? The idea is they're not loyal because sellers have never been loyal to the customers anyway. When was the last time you actually sent a thank you note to your customer? Never, right? You try sending a birthday card to the customer, the fellow will remember for life. Okay, so turn one-time customers, one-time buyers to repeat customers is something that's very important, and then you want to start building a database of customers. Now, come September, Apple is going to release iOS 15. And iOS 15 comes with another feature that this time is going to affect email marketers. It's going to they call it the mail privacy protection. Basically, you no longer be able to track emails that send to people who are using iOS or read the Apple Mail using iOS device. All right, there are three things. Basically, you don't know whether they open the email, and something that we use to track open emails. You don't know where they are, so you cannot send IP related tracking to them. Because they mask the IPs and they mask the geographical location, we can no longer do timer countdown. So if I run a promotion and say 3 days, 3 hours to go, I used to run a timer on my emails. By come September, I will not be able to run timers again. Now, that is only one part. The browsers themselves are also moving towards removing third-party cookies, which means your retargeting, as what you've seen in Facebook, you cannot no longer see whether the users have browsed how many times. You don't know whether, for example, how to track them when you go to different devices, which means, and this is all because of personal privacy concerns. And that's valid, right? Because you don't want people to misuse your presence online. You're going to spend like 99% of the time online anyways. So the ability to build your first-party data, which means data that your customers willingly give you, which is your email, your phone number, for example, your address if they buy something from you, those are first-party data. That data is going to be super valuable because you'll be able to reach out to them. Third-party data are those that, for example, if you sign up for AdSense and AdSense or CNET has other people to run ads for them, and they're trying to get information for you, they will not be able to get stuff like this. All right. So whoever has data is king. And it's the same thing with you when you're running an e-commerce store. So why you want to do that is so that you can engage and build a community and to be able to sell anytime. Just like now, Jason has a community of Shopee Lazada store. And if he decides that I'm going to contribute to the community, he's going to just put up an email and tell you guys and say, hey, we're going to do something free, something unique and something useful for you guys. We will go live. And that's how you build community, right? So if somebody else comes and say, hey, I think I can do Facebook better. First thing first, you're going to check with Jason and say, hey, Jason, the guy said he can do this for this idea and all those things. Can work. Jason would know because you trust him, right? The other guy may have a new shiny object, but you're going to listen, but you're going to check with Jason and say, hey, I heard about this. Can do. That's the value of building a relationship and community. And with that, this is one of the channel that you can do, which is email. It is a 51-year-old channel, which is way older than your social media. Social media is probably half its age. And a lot of people are saying every time there's some new, social media came up, people say email is dead. And now you have, mobile SMS coming up, then it's email is dead. Email has been surviving since the day of the internet. Email was one of the founding component of the email internet infrastructure. They created the internet because they didn't want to test sending communication between one computer to another computer, which is now you call it as email. That's why it's called email. It's electronic mail. Okay. So email is one of the way or the channel that you can consider. And by doing so, you now be able to flip the relationship on just relying on Shopee. You now turn Shopee into one of your best traffic source. Now, marketplace is not good, it's not bad. It is important for businesses. Same thing like, a shopping mall is important for all the small stores because they are responsible to bring the traffic in, the foot traffic in, so that you can sell your stuff, right? So if you have a little store somewhere in Taman Tun, wherever it is, you would not have the kind of traffic as if you put your store in Wong Utama, right? So Shopee is your Wong Utama, okay? But you can take advantage of the traffic that's provided by this marketplace and eventually siphon off your customers because they're your customers. You didn't steal from anybody. They came to you, they look at your stuff, they like your stuff, they buy from you, they became your customer. Now you're using Shopee to divert traffic eventually to your own, which you can control. So the simple way of looking at this, people come to Shopee store or they buy something from you, they became your customer. And from then on, what you want to do is, because like Jason mentioned, you can get their phone numbers, right? You can now basically run an SMS, for example, or WhatsApp them, for example, because especially during the shipping period, from ordering to receiving shipment, any phone numbers or SMS communication is welcome by them because they're waiting for their stuff. You can SMS, tell them it's coming and all those things. So that's one way of communicating with them without having the email address, which you don't have. Shopee don't give you. The other thing is to use a thank you card. For example, can you guys see this? This is a thank you card from one of the so-called. I bought a background cloth, for example. They give me this 15% off if I basically take a picture and then email to them.
I'm blowing you up. You can show the screen. Wow, that's what 15%. Wow,
Yeah,
$15.
It's
$15
$15. Sorry, it's 15 ringgit off coupon.
Not bad.
So at the back they will have their Facebook. They will also have the email address, and because I buy from them, they will have, because they're running their own stores. So then they're Shopee, but they will have email address. Now, if you are on Shopee, you can ask them to come to your website. At the very least, right?
That's very true.
So 2 ways: SMS to tell them to come to your website. Now, this is something, an idea that Jason came up with, right? And he's suggesting you can actually do, okay, so you send SMS or you send a thank you card, you can direct them first to a group. And the group is basically a community like what you guys are in. But this time, this is a community of buyers. And your group can be used for customer support. A group can be used to engage with your customers. Remember, nobody cares about you after you bought something. You bought a big 65 inches TV from JVC or Sharp or whatever. They give you a warranty card and that's it. Nobody bothers about you. The days of this is gone. Same thing when you buy software. Those days, you buy an online subscription software, you pay and basically get your software. It's also gone. That's why people like Russell Brunson is doing so well with ClickFunnels. It's actually not a very good product. It's not really a good product, but he managed to wrap around the entire ClickFunnels, and it grew so big. It's basically worth about $1 billion now. Okay, he built a community of funnel hackers, and he created training. He charges for the training, by the way. He created your funnel hacking live, which is happening in September. He brought people in to talk about funnels, and he created tons and tons of contents which are free and which are available, all related to that. And by all doing this, it will work if you use his ClickFunnels. So that's how. And ClickFunnels is, by the way, the what I call that, the main team is all about building funnels. And when you need a tool, you just use ClickFunnels. And that's how he grew the business. If you just sell ClickFunnels as it is and talk about features and benefit of a software that helps you build funnels, ain't going to move, right? So same thing, when you create a group, whatever products that you're selling, you want to get them in and provide value. And by virtue of them coming in the group, you can then do, for example, hey, I'm like what you're doing now, you can go live and talk to them. Or you can say, hey, next week, I'm going to do a special one for you guys. I'm going to give 10% off. I'm going to give 5% off. I'm going to give something new. I've got a new product. I want to show it to you guys first before we launch it on Shopee or Lazada. So that's how you can build engagement in the group. And once you're in the group, and I think Jason is going to share with you a nice little tool that he has created, it will be able to allow you to collect the email list. Now, this is how you do it. And from email list, you have the group social media channel, you have the email list to reach out to them. And that allows you to build a very solid relationship, because now not only they bought something from you, they know you, they like you, and they trust you because you're there for them. Okay. And email is one of the channel it's non-intrusive, because if I every day send an SMS to you, you'll probably be freaked out. But if I send an email to you, as long as the email is relevant, you won't be complaining. At worst, you can unsubscribe, no big deal. All right. And you guys, on average, every one of us receive about 80 to 120 emails a day anyways, right? So now, once you have their email address, you are in control of your business destiny and direction, because you can send multiple campaigns. And if you don't have your own personal store, you can send your multiple campaigns by emails back to your Shopee store. And from there, you get even more satisfied customers, because these are the people who bought something from you. And your campaigns is to encourage them to buy more, or to buy more frequently, or to buy other products which you sell. Okay. So these are some of the simple emails. Okay. These are emails related to e-com store. Now, what you receive emails daily from Jason are generally text-based, and those are generally used by info products, right? They will have a story, they will tell you, give you links and all those things, but rarely you see images in Jason's email, and same thing for me as well. But with e-commerce, you've got your hero products, and you can use emails for it, and that's why e-commerce email is interesting, right? So you can actually, you don't have to write, if you want to write an email like Jason does, he has to figure out, or we have to figure out what to write, But if it's e-commerce, it's a lot more easier, because all you need to show is basically to show that nice, beautiful shot of your products, Some of them are local, like Origin Mattress is a local company. Belroy is basically a foreign company. Amazing Grace is a local company. And finally, this one is, what's it? Madre. Madre is basically also a local company. These are emails sent by them. Okay. So you want to be able to control the flow of communication to your customers. And by virtue of that, you'll be able to control the relationship. And now you just use your Shopee store as a facilitator of transaction, assuming if you don't have your own e-com store. Okay. And eventually, because now you are in direct connection or direct communication with your customers, you will know what they want. And if you look at one of our episode on Three Marketers Show, I think that was, what's the guy's name? He was selling frozen fruits, for example. He gets ideas. Carl. He gets ideas from his customers by virtue of emails and SMS. So before he runs a new formula, for example, for his frozen foods, he will just basically talk to them and say, by the way, you guys want this or not? Does it make sense? Or some of them, they even, email back to them and say, hey, Carl, would you be able to source something like this? We would like this particular ingredient and all the stuff. And that's how you build it enhances the products that you sell. Now, once you have that communication, you'll be in a better position to eventually or one day launch your own store. Okay, because you can talk to them already and say, hey, by the way, I've just got a new store, and we've got a few more new products there, and all these things we may or may not be available on Shopee or Lazada. So that's what you want, eventually, to own your own store. So in order to build your e-com empire, and by using email, okay, and it's one of the tools, is first of all, you have to sign up for an ESP. ESP stands for Email Service Provider, somebody who sends email on your behalf in bulk. And then you start collecting email address, which, through the groups. And I think Jason is going to share with you how it's done through the groups. And then you email your list. And from there, you build relationship with your list. And you will profit every time you send out a campaign. Now, in Jason's case, we did a show previously. One of the benchmark a lot of people are saying is you should aim to earn at least a US $1 per email address. Jason is earning $2.27 per email address. He's already broke that $1 mark. All right. It is possible. It is doable. Okay. So before email, what you're doing now is this. You're going to Facebook or any other social media you're running ads to drive them to your Shopee store. And then hopefully you get a customer. and then you repeat the whole process again. Okay, because it's basically that churn and burn kind of thing, and you didn't know better how to collect information for your customers. With email in place, you run Facebook ads obviously to get traffic, drive them to Shopee, get your customer, but that's where the cycle is broken. It then pivots towards you using email to build a community of your customers. Once you have a community of your customers, you then be able to cross-sell, you can do new products, you can do upsells, you can do whatever you want. You can run funnels if you want to, right? But generally it's in your control. And then you can decide to divert them back to your own store if you have, or send them to Shopee, or send them to Lazada. Or for that matter, tomorrow there's one brand new marketplace that comes online and they're giving you, great deals and all those things. You can send them there, but it's under your control. So when we talk to, a couple of e-com, owners, they always say the email is complicated. Okay, so these are some of the so-called concerns. It's very technical because you need to set up domains, you need to set up ESP, you need to warm up your email and all those stuff. And when you talk about email, then people will stop and say, I don't know what to write. What to write? But if I've shown you just now in the emails earlier, e-commerce email is actually quite relatively easy. It's all about the hero products. And your writing is rather limited to describing the product. And remember, you're not building a brochure. You're basically using email to basically create curiosity for them to go to your store to check out. Okay, the email is not to sell your products. The email to sell the click to go to your store. Okay, people don't read an email anymore. I've got social media and I got time to read email. But there's a study that says that 58% of adults actually first thing they do in the morning is to open up an email app before social media, because it's so tied to work. All right.
So how many of you agree with this hashtag agree? I think that's really the thing that is, especially for business people like us, right? Email is the thing that we actually frequent. You can actually try to count how many times you go into your email every day, especially if you have it on your phone, right? You want to come in and see who, and all these email coming in.
Yeah.
So for those who say email is dead, email has got a long life to live, to be very frank. I provide hashtag agree, yay, right? I think that's, in fact, I go into email more than anything I have on my phone.
Yeah, because it's conversational and it's one-to-one. When you do a post on Facebook, you don't know who's going to respond.
Oh, yeah.
You're basically just shouting or broadcasting. But if I send an email to Jason, I know I'm writing to Jason and that's it, nobody else. Now, one more thing is this. Facebook is one of the largest social media platform. But do you notice if you guys are an agency, you will receive email from Facebook promoting, for example, their business blueprint, or particularly their blueprint programs, for example. When they have a new announcement, they'll send you by email. When there's a new so-called course or new insights about Facebook Insights, they actually send you by email. And Facebook is actually one of the largest sender of emails in the world. They own the bloody platform and yet they're sending you. Have you ever received an SMS from Facebook before?
No, it's all email. I receive like donkey numbers of email from Facebook every day, whether your ads got banned, whether your ads got approved and all these things. It's all email.
Yeah.
Your payment get through or didn't get through.
So
it's all email.
If email is dead, you just have one of the largest social media guys still using it. So it's not dead. Yep. It may change in form, it may change in style, but email is not going to be dead. All right. So the other one is, my emails all end in spam. How? That is because you may not have set it up properly, or maybe you're sending content that's not relevant. And most of the complaints come here is because this is how you treat emails anyways, yourself as a reader. All right. Because you have not received those that you keep. Definitely are those that is relevant to you, and those are not relevant because they either sell, or they send something that is not relevant, not in your lane, for example, or somebody tried to scam you. And Google is there to protect you because they will pick this up and they send you to a spam already. You probably won't see this, right? So, and finally, can work, man. I think after this, you probably know that emails will work. Okay, so what we can do is this. Now, if it's technical, not an issue because we have people like myself. Even Jason has some experiences with email. He writes his email most of the time himself already, right? We can set it up for you. The second thing is I don't know what to write. Like I mentioned, e-commerce is all about hero images. There's some text necessary, but most of the time people are drawn to that because you're selling a product, okay? And not like infographics, because infographics, we are selling an aspiration. So we have to write in such a way to actually evoke that emotion in you. We have to trigger that pain that you may not realize is there. And to the point it says, oh yeah, I think I need this course, for example, or I need to take up this particular, products or service, okay? People don't read an email, like I mentioned before. 58%. There's a study. If all you need to do is do a Google and check, about email statistics, 58% of people read emails first thing in the morning. That's big enough. And there's also another statistics that people trust promotions sent by email more than social media. Because in order for me to send a promotion to you, I have to get your consent for email address, which means whether you like it or not, you probably have known me a little bit, right? For example, I send my emails daily. You guys may not have received it because you have not basically subscribed to my newsletter. So I can't send to you, okay? The next one, my email sent out spam. Well, that's because you didn't set it up. You didn't set it up correctly, all right? And like I mentioned, it cannot work. Well, Shopee does that. Recently, you notice a lot of emails coming from Shopee, Lazada for your 88. There you go. Okay. So you can choose to do it yourself. It's entirely doable. Okay. To do it yourself, to go at it yourself, to try it out, because there are ESP out there that's offering free emails up to 1,500. Some of them offer up to 2,000, which you can sign up for free and use their service for free until the point that you reach out that 1,000 or 2,000 point. So it's possible to set up your own email system, or you can have it done for you, because time is of the essence, right? And this is something for your consideration. We're not going to pitch anything. Basically, we're showing you what is available and to open up your eyes of the possibilities that you can do with your Shopee and Lazada, so to take it to the next level. And this is basically a service that we provide, which is an email commerce, which I do now for some of my customers now. And then in collaboration with Jason, we also basically run something specifically for e-commerce store as well. So Jason, that's it.
All right. I mean, thank you so much, Andrew. I think that's basically a kind of like an idea that we want to share with you, that we want to, because a lot of people, when we first started talking about email marketing, right, especially for those e-commerce sellers, especially marketplace sellers, they will be asking, how do I do that? There is no way, right? So I was actually trying to perfect the whole thing, and I was building the whole journey. And eventually, because this is really something that I did, if you guys have went through any experience with me, right, if you remember it correctly, if you just remember it, try to recall how it went through, right, you either found me on YouTube, all right, you either actually found me through some of my, lead magnets and all that. You came in, all right, you sign up, you consume the content, whether you paid for the course, you actually did not, either way, you came in. And then after that, what? Okay, I invite you to join my Facebook group, correct? I definitely invite you to join my Facebook group, because that's where I tell you that I will be answering your questions on a weekly basis, and that's where I will do whatever things that is there, right? So that is what I have been doing for the longest time. But what is really broken in many people for not taking advantage of the email marketing is because, first thing first, you do not know how to convert your customer into an email address. That's the first thing, if you agree with me. So that's the first problem if you're selling on Shopee or Lazada. You do not know how to turn them into email address in a very effective way. You do not know how to build a framework to do that. Then the second thing is you do not know how to actually do email. You do not know how to set up email. And that's where Andrew and I wants to come here and offer you a solution. But let me show you what can be done. What is my system? In fact, I didn't invent this system. I just like it, okay, basically, and my team can do it. I just do it. Because I didn't want to pay for that, and I want to do a lot more because I have quite a number of groups, right? That's why I want to do something. So if you have a Facebook group, this is what you do, right? You have a Facebook group, you can actually, whenever people wants to join a Facebook group, you can ask them up to 3 questions. correct? If you're seeing the screen, if you can see this, right? So if
Yeah,
you
they
see
can
this,
see the screen.
yeah, they can see the screen. So
Yeah.
if they want to join your group, they will have to give you, because you can choose, I mean, you can ask for this. I want your email address. You know,
Right.
I want you to do you ask, you can ask 2 more questions. Like for example, if those people bought, like what Andrew showed you, you got a thank you card, you invite them to join the Facebook group and give them a 15 ringgit discount, 15% discount. I think I would say at least 50% will willingly do that. So that solves your problem. So when they, let's say if you have let's say 50 customers every day, so out of which every day you have 25 people, let's say, really join your Facebook group. So you'll be having the next problem is, what the heck am I supposed to do to convert all these things? Do I need to hire a person to do this? To copy the email and bring it over? That's why, I built this. I wanted this. Somebody else was doing it, but I was thinking I can do this, right? So we built this. So all you need to do here is when you come to a group, right, you can connect it to a Google Sheet, all right, which is over here. So this is a Google Sheet. Actually, Google Sheet, not the ITEET. So this is a Google Sheet. So
Google
when Google Sheet, okay. So let's say before you want to actually approve somebody, right? All you need to do is you install this. I created this group connect. Okay, I got my guy to build it in 2 weeks. The guy is quite insane. So once you log in, okay, you can actually you'll be able to inject a Google Sheet URL here, which is that one that we are looking at. So before you approve, right, you realize that you have an extra button. Instead of just bloody approve, you have an extra button called add to sheets. So all you need to do is before you actually approve them, you just make sure that you add these people to sheet. Okay. So once you have added it to sheet and you can come into the panel, then you'll be able to see those 2 person has been added to sheet. We have Huyin, we have Gerald. So these 2 person have been added to sheet. The next thing you can do is, so you see this is over here, right? The next thing you can do is you can just push to Google Sheets. Okay.
Right.
So once you push it over, then we have it here. So what else can be done? What else can be done? The next thing is you can just build a
Run a Zapier Zap.
Run a Zap and just pull the data as and when you have, and they will pull them into your ESP, which is your email service provider. And in this case, I'm using MailerLite. You just pull them over, and when it comes to MailerLite, you know what happened? That's what is happening to you guys. Regardless, if you sign up to my lead magnet, you come in here. The moment you go into any email group, Ian, you will start receiving a series of emails coming from me. Most of them are actually designed as in it's an automation.
Yeah.
So you just imagine a lot of things can be actually automated. That's why we always like to tell people that, look, you don't really need to do everything manually.
Yep.
You just need to link things up. Correct. So if you're interested, you can actually go to Group Connect. Actually, it's tribeupacademy.com/Group Connect. Never mind, I will put the link over here later on. So that's where we want to solve the problem.
And it's a valid problem because at one point, when I do a Facebook group, the problem is sometimes when you approve, you saw the email and you didn't copy it and you approve, then that's it. You cannot recover the email address anymore.
It's not possible to recover.
It's not possible, right? So that's why a Chrome extension, by the way, that's a Chrome extension that allows you to list. And because you've got a backend automation set up in your email system, that means the moment a new address is imported inside, it will trigger a series of action by email, right?
Yep.
So whether you're sleeping and somebody like from US comes in at 2 o'clock in the morning, join your group, you can't approve it, but assuming, let's say, if it's approved, and at 2 o'clock in the morning, the automation kickstart and start sending it at their time and not your time, right? So this is the power of email when you match with automation. And now you have the group, which is both the so-called the dynamic images, the videos, and all the stuff. You have 2 angles for you to communicate with your customers. Isn't it awesome?
Yeah. So that is the one front end. So what about the back end? You see, a lot of people, a lot of e-commerce sellers are busy to death.
Ready?
Anyone agree? Yeah. If you are busy, can you give me #busy? If you are busy, can you give me #busy? If you are #busy, because most of the e-commerce sellers, they are just, Jason, learning Facebook ad to me is really like the limit that I can endure already. Anything over that, anything more than that, I'll be like, dead. What the heck are you trying to do to me? You know, so if you are busy, then hashtag busy. Chiwa is hashtag busy with a multiple Y's over there, right? You have how many Y over there? So if you're busy, give me hashtag busy. Of course you are, because you got so many things to do, right? And you're telling me that, Jason, you want me to do email some more. But I believe up to now, we have already given you the idea why email matters. Because first, this is where you can start increasing the customer lifetime value without spending extra money on the advertising.
Oh,
This
seriously?
is where
Yeah.
you increase the lifetime value minus the advertising dollar. You just imagine if you have 1,000 customers, let's take it there at a moderate way. Another 20 to 30% of them come back and buy from you every bloody month. You just imagine what kind of volume that you're looking at. Because these people already bought from you, they already put in money in your bank account, they trust you. You just need to start triggering this thing and coming back and make them feel they're privileged, and they will start doing a lot more things with you. They can even refer. So that's the main benefit.
Yep.
But how can we actually minus the work? That's why we have a program. So this is a program that Andrew and I are coming together. Yes, we are inviting, but to be very frank, Andrew and I are busy person. Okay, that's why you don't see us doing this often. We can only doing this whenever we really have the time open, and we can only take a few clients at this point of time. So if you want this, if you want to have a group, and you want to have the framework design, you want to connect it with whatever things that I show you, the thing just now, and you want to have the idea, which is and when Andrew and I, when both of our minds connect together, we do crazy things. So we're going to come in and design the framework for you. So we will look at your business. Let's say if Samsung. So we will look at Samsung, we will look at, okay, how can we design this thing? So what kind of offer we want to give them? At what point we want to actually give them this offer, then we bring them in. And then we will also work with you. I will work with you to actually craft the content planning in your Facebook group. You see, if you look at my Facebook group, anyone in my Facebook, of course you are. What kind of question am I asking? You're in my Facebook group because you're watching this live, right?
Yes.
But you realize I don't post every day. I mean, I post every day and I don't need to actually do much work because it's all automated.
Yep.
Look at Jason Gunn. You only need to label one word with equation to Jason Gunn. Like one of my coaches today, he was just telling me that, Jason, I like you because you are lazy. And I was like, is that a good thing or bad thing? Because I'm lazy, I actually make things work automated.
Yep.
Because I'm lazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because both of us basically, you have a team. I work alone. So I'll be forced to figure out ways that I can automate. My post, for example, I automate like 1 month ahead. Okay, this month I'm a bit screwed up but normally what I do is I schedule all my posts 1 month ahead, and then I forget about it. And sometimes my email I write in 1 week in advance.
But there are things that you can actually find, and you don't need to post every day. Mind you, you don't need to. We just need to find a framework. Yeah. So we just need to confirm what kind of activity that you feel comfortable, and then we build around it. I'm going to give you ideas on how do you want to do this. But of course, if you want to learn this yourself, you can join my Facebook. There is another group 3-day challenge, which I believe you probably received email. Powai was there, Intan was there. So this is where I give you all these ideas on what are the things that you can do to really build your group. But if you don't want to go through this learning and say that I probably will learn and don't have time to execute it, right? So you say you want somebody else to help you build it up, to frame it, to structure for you. So that's where I will come in to build a whole group framework to actually automate the thing. And we will actually even craft the content idea. We will work together on that. And on top of that, once we're able to bring the group email addresses in, Andrew is going to work his back end to help you set up, the dirty work at the back end in terms of setting up the email site. Yep. You don't need to figure out what the hell is DKIM la, ABC la, whatever potato name la. I don't get it all the time, to be very frank. Okay, and you don't need to. You just come in and you know that you're in good hands because there is a email scientist over there to fix everything for you. And we only need to tell you that, look, this is how we actually structure this thing. When the email being captured into MailerLite, and how many emails will happen, for how long. And then after that, we will also help you find your own pace. Oh, you probably want to send email maybe twice a week or 3 times a week. And you already have the assurance from Andrew. You don't need to do email like us. Because the moment you are e-commerce, right, to be very frank, We didn't know that when we first started this project 3 months ago, right?
Yep.
Then only we realized the moment we do e-commerce, I tell you, e-commerce email is actually very straightforward.
Very
It's a
straightforward.
lot more straightforward than ours.
Ours is crazy. We
Well,
have to
I
send
was,
something that people cannot see and touch.
and I was like, holy crap, right?
Yeah.
Then you see my email until like Chiwa was saying, full of Jason Yan's email. I think it's a good thing lah. That's why you cannot forget me, ma. Right?
Yeah.
So you don't need to. You just need to find. So all can be done within 4 weeks. This
Within
is
4
not
weeks.
like a 3-month exercise or 2-month exercise, but these all things can be done within 4 weeks, which means Andrew and I is going to come together. We're going to bring our shovels and all the tools together to your project. We're going to build everything for you ready in 4 weeks' time, and it will become an automated engine. All you need to do is to follow the schedule to do whatever that is being designed and planned. Then you can take it forward.
Yep.
One-time work. To be very frank, we promise you, you only need a one-time setup by professionals like us. We get it done for you. Then you can take it for a spin. Because to be frank, going into MIGHTILY to do all the email, it's not rocket science. We can teach you in probably a few times. So in these 4 weeks, this is a done with you and done for you campaign.
Yep.
Okay, we will set up everything for you with your full participation. But of course, I'm not saying that you gotta stay with us all the for X number of hours a day. You're just gonna
Once a week.
Once a week, yeah.
An
Once
hour
a week we have a call
We
kind
do
of
a
thing.
check-in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, here's a twist to just to let you know. The way we are approaching this is this: me and Jason ain't going to build an agency.
No,
Right?
we're
We're
not.
not interested in building an agency.
I
What
just
we're
got out
interested
from
in-
that, man.
Yeah. So what we are interested is this, and then with Jason's background, he's interested in teaching. I have an interest in teaching too. So we want to be able to combine this done for you, whereby we do it for you, but at the same time, the hourly or weekly call for an hour or so, we actually teach you what we did. We tell you the reason we do it, and we want to transfer this knowledge to you. Because we're not in the business of building agencies, I have no motivation whatsoever to basically put you on the drip so that every month you come back to me and say, Andrew, I need to subscribe. Can you help me and all that stuff? We want to teach you as much as possible, as much as you can accept, so that you'll be able, or either your team will be able to basically run this and do it on your own. Because our interest is this. Our interest is we want to touch as many e-com stores as possible. So imagine if you are hooked to me for the next 6 months, I can only do so much. I want to finish off, get you up and running, set it right. You can do it on your own. Then I go and touch, we basically can touch the lives of other e-commerce stores owners as well. That's what we want to do.
Yep. And 4 weeks is the longest lifespan, the longest attention span I can pay on one project, to be very frank.
Yeah.
I actually totally just escaped my 10-year agency life. I'm finally able to leave it behind. I'm very happy. So
and we're gonna run like mad. Honestly speaking, we're gonna start delivering, if possible. I want to get it up and done within 2 weeks so that you actually see results.
And you don't need to wait for a month to see money. You will start seeing money coming in on the week 1 or week 2. I think latest by week 2, you will start seeing money coming in. Everything is already automated. Correct. And on the front end, in Facebook group, you will immediately see money coming in, to be very frank.
Yeah.
Because the moment you go out, you're giving a voucher.
Yeah.
That is being tracked at the very beginning. In fact, I think day 1, we can start seeing money coming in.
Correct.
Yeah, you wanted to say something. You forgot. Anyway.
No. See, one thing, me and Jason, primarily Jason, we are business people, number one. Number two is this. We don't have time to fool around and try to wait for things to happen. You look at Jason, you look at my emails that we send out. Whenever we do, we run a campaign, we will hit you like 7 or 8 emails a day. 8 emails within a week. And primarily is we want to get a message out and then basically promote this because it's useful for you, right? So we want to get the money upfront. So same thing, we will use the same kind of energy when we build your emails because it's not for fun or play. It's like we got to go out and make money already.
Yeah, man.
For you,
it's a very serious thing.
It's very practical.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why we talk up to now. We haven't give you any call to action link is because I want you to really consider this. If you're watching up to now and you're thinking that you want to actually and apply for this, to be frank, first thing first, you got to apply.
Need to apply. Yes.
It's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. Okay. If your business is not interesting, we probably don't find it exciting, then we probably won't take you. But nonetheless, when you apply, let's go through a discovery call.
Yeah.
We will go through a half-an-hour discovery call, and we will understand your challenges and your business. At least we want to see are we able to come up with a viable plan for you. And in the call itself, we're going to give you a rough idea about what can be done, what are we proposing. And if you agree, then we just embark on the journey together. If you don't, then I definitely I will ensure you that you will walk away with an idea that you can do it yourself.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
It's an idea that you can do it yourself. It just take a little bit more time, But if you think it's worth the time, yourself involving doing it, which you want to get your hands dirty, fine, go ahead. But if you want us to do it, then of course we come to a deal that we can do this together. So apply only if you are serious. You don't simply apply, then come to a call with us, then we just chit chat. Then I don't think it makes sense, to be very frank.
DM Jason directly in your group. You just DM Jason.
No, I'm just gonna send the link in.
Oh, okay.
Okay. If you're watching it on YouTube, the link is already coming your way. If you're on Facebook, if you're in Facebook group, I just put in the link. So click on the link. Carefully answer those questions. Okay. We need you to give us as much information as you can. Answer those questions so that we can have a better idea about what are we going to discuss inside when we are actually going for the call. So once you apply, you'll be landed on the calendar. Book your slot right away, because I have very limited slots left even for next week. Book your slot, and we will go through the call together to see whether we are a fit to work together on that one. Okay? Yep. So meanwhile, let's see if there's any questions coming from you. Let's do a quick Q&A before we go. Andrew, you got time?
You can ask. Yes, plenty of time. Do it.
Okay.
I reserve about 2 hours for you guys.
Wow, you see, Andrew had reserved 2 hours, but I can't. I probably have to go in a bit. But anyway, questions? Any questions? Any questions at all? Anything that you are facing right now in your e-commerce business in terms of like whatever challenge that you're facing or whatever thing? Let's see if we can actually do a bit of brainstorming if there's anything that we can tackle, whatever problem that you're facing. Because although I personally work with quite a number of e-commerce sellers, whether they are Shopee sellers or own website sellers, I don't primarily own a Shopee store. Like I do have my e-commerce store, which is where people come to my website and buy courses and like programs and whatnot. But I probably may not be able to understand 100% your challenges and your problems that you're facing. So it'd be good that you can actually shoot me if there's anything that we can actually have a discussion together over here. Since we are already here, I can see quite a number of you are still here, which means we would
love to hear from you. Honestly speaking, even for me, I want to really know, not because we are trying to sell you something, but I think as to serve the community, in order to be able to better serve the community, to understand your real problem. And then we like to solve problem, right? Not the selling stuff. We like to solve problem. You give us a problem, let's figure out how to solve it.
Yeah.
And that's the real fun of it. Selling is a byproduct. Eventually you like us, okay, fine. If not, that's fine too.
That's very true. I mean, life is full of problems, right?
Yeah. Solving problems is what makes us comes alive.
Yeah, but we have another. Yeah, Chiwai was saying my email subject title is enough to wake you up. What subject is that? What did I write? What is that? What did I write something that rude until I can wake you up in the morning? Like what the? Anyway,
no idea.
I wrote too many emails. Sometimes.
Okay, you got a fan there, that's a good thing, that's fine.
I mean, I don't know whether it's a fan or probably these guys just want to come and like just. But anyway, Tiwa is a good friend, definitely. Yeah. Right. So I don't see questions coming in, which I think you guys are pretty cool. So I hope this training session is valuable. At least it gives you some new perspective to look at things. To be very frank, like I actually saw Powai putting that right. Whenever there is we do have some questions. Powai was saying if there is always ways, just need to work around. That's very true. And Powai is saying if a person is using Safari or other browser, can group connect work? No, it's Chrome extension.
It's a Chrome extension.
By nature, you have to use Chrome, so no choice. So Chrome is free anyway. So I think for this purpose, you have to install Chrome for that purpose. It's because it's just Chrome, right? So and we have Chiwai, serious one. It's good to keep me going. Oh, really? Then I write more. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I write more. lah.
Maybe we set up a separate segment where we only charge $1 for every emails you write to GY. Yes, so
Maybe,
pay $1 to do a
that's not
subscription.
bad. And GY was just saying, you check Group Connect.
No.
Can't use on
Opera, no,
Opera.
it's a Chrome extension.
I think
It's a
GY
Chrome extension.
Who use Opera? You tell me you really use Opera. Might as well you tell me you use what? What was the other one already? What was that?
Yeah.
Now it's a Chrome
only the
extension.
Avengers, only Avengers users.
Maybe Avengers, maybe Avengers.
Normal
Doctor
guys,
Strange or
unfortunately,
Captain
no,
America.
yeah.
Yeah. We all normal
Yeah.
people. Yeah. I also cannot take Safari to a certain extent because too strict.
Oh, yes.
Too strict.
Very. I mean, good for users.
Yeah. GY is saying Opera is sibei fast, block ads.
My friend, you're in the ad business. You're in the ads business, you block ads.
Which country you're from, man? Well, wrong group. It blocks all AdSense.
It's just like me saying I'm in the email business, but I don't like to receive newsletters, and I don't
open
emails. Too many emails.
I don't read. GY, wrong
I
group.
subscribe to every damn newsletter that's available out there because I want to see,
Yeah, we want to see how the ads work. I mean, you block. Oh my god, what happened to you, man? Yeah. Okay, I think that's fun. Okay, thanks GY for staying up to now. Yeah, really.
Man, thanks so much,
and
man.
Everyone else who actually stay up to this late, with us. I hope this is useful for you guys. And if you want to work with us, seriously, apply only when you're serious. If not, then it's good that you know whatever that is, and you can actually start applying. And if you want to join something else, like if you want to do this yourself, join my group challenge, which is going to happen on the 3rd week of August, which is coming up like 2 weeks later. Anyway, you will receive emails. You will receive emails. It's quite impossible that you don't, but nonetheless, find out all this in everywhere. So
Facebook group, start doing it.
So I say this session is wake up call to seriously take a look at email campaign. 100%. Because ads is crazy, okay, and everybody's pumping money into it, and the e-commerce is getting nasty. Seriously, it's not as.
Another thing is this: you see people blocking Facebook, blocking your account, or one day you post something and then Facebook say, "Hey, I don't like you, or you violated whatever content rules and all those things. I'm going to shut down your Facebook page or shut down your profile." That's it. Your followers are gone. The good thing about email is this: once you start building your email list, and one day MailerLite decided to go quite on you and say, "Hey, Andrew, you are not sending emails according to our what you say, screw you, I'm going to take my email list, I'm going to join MailChimp." Or I'm going to, if there's that's what we did. At one point I was using MailChimp and they decided to change their pricing. I got fed up. I just removed all my email lists. I went to MailerLite, and if one day MailerLite, decided to be funny about it, I'm going to take my whole email list and I go. So if you ask a lot of entrepreneurs, most of them say, assuming you lose everything, okay, you lose all your people, all your brands and all things, the fellow will tell you 9 out of 10 times is, don't touch my email list. You can take away every damn technology, don't touch my email list, because they can come back up within 30 days. You talk to Franken, same thing. You talk to Russell, same thing. Email list is their lifeblood. Don't touch.
That's very true. That's very true. So you have to really start thinking about building your own empire, and that's where you can start really building some serious asset. Through your digital marketing activities. That's your asset. Nothing else. Nothing more. Okay. So I think that is a wrap. Okay.
I hope you guys are finding
it useful. Quick question. Powai is asking, MailerLite can import context. Of course, my friend.
Absolutely.
Go and play with it. I think it's powerful. MailerLite is our favorite right now. Okay, so it's very easy to use and it's powerful and it's simple. People like me, Jason Gunn is a simple person and I like everything simple.
Hey, one thing I mean, not because we're using MailerLite don't pay us for it,
No.
One thing I like MailerLite personally as a user, almost like every 2 days or so, I will basically chat with their support. You got questions to ask, you just trigger their chat support, and within 5 minutes, people will respond to you and they'll give you answers, they will clarify things to you. I love MailerLite because of the support.
The support is powerful.
Very, very good. You talk to any other fellas, they say, within 1 day, I'll send you an email. This guy respond day and night immediately. I try in the morning, I try at night, I try midnight. These guys are 24/7 and they respond to you on chat live.
Powerful, powerful.
That's one of their, hopefully they don't change, but that's
Hopefully
one of
lah,
the
hopefully.
things.
But I think they actually, this is one of the keys USP that they are building around.
Yeah.
Yeah, they shout about that. And Paul is saying the company you join is using MailChimp. Try to talk them out to actually, switch it over. But anyway.
If you're okay with it, okay lah, it's okay.
Yeah,
no
I mean,
problem.
actually, MailChimp also not bad lah. I must say,
MailChimp has improved quite a lot.
Improved
Since
quite
the
a
last
lot.
time we left them.
Yeah.
I left them about 3 years plus. Not using them, but they have improved quite a lot. So if it's working, it's okay. But you know very well that because you keep your email address, you can switch anytime you want.
True, it's not a big deal. In fact, it's not a big deal. Yeah. Anyway, that wraps today. Thank you so much,
It's
Andrew.
been fun. Thank you
for joining us. Thank you for sharing this. And thank you everyone. And Poai, Chiwai, and everyone else, Intan, who are actually still watching. Thank you so much. And we look forward to talk to you soon. And by the way, don't forget Sunday, we actually come live again. Yeah. It's all me.
Have a good weekend, guys. EPL
thank you.
On this week.
What EPL? Wow, okay.
Football is back.
Anyway,
at least
just have
life.
fun. Okay, just enjoy your weekend and see you around. Thanks. Good night.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.